Hello. Oop. Okay. I think I'm all set here. Hi, guys. Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, wait. It came unplugged. This is why I check when you get in here. Okay. Thank you for coming. I have a interesting topic tonight. Very interesting. Hi. Oh, they just came in all of a sudden. Hi, Karina. Hi, AGT Mom. Hi, Linda. How are you guys doing tonight on this fine Saturday? I wanted to go live last night, but I got wrapped up. I did a little project last week, and by little project, I mean a last minute event, which is what I'm presenting. So this is not perfection. This is just to get a message across, okay? Because I'm not a video editor. I don't have the patience. I really tried. I tried my best, okay? And I'm not a good video recorder, it turns out. So I am sorry ahead of time. What I did a little thing. Okay, it was a random Thursday last week for me. I was sick. My AC had been a mess. Remember, it had gone out for like, I don't even know, almost a week. And then I finally got stuff installed and I was just like so tired. Snotty nose. You can hear him in the video. I'm like, like a little snotty piggy. And I decided I would finally do what I had put these events on my calendar for a couple of months now, knowing that what they were for Scientology. And I kept saying, I'm going to do this, And they have almost every night, they have a meetup for some type of Scientology group on here, on meetup.com. Okay. So have you guys ever been to meetup.com? I want to show it to you. I don't even know where I heard about it. I was messing around on there one day, a couple months ago, and I'm like, I'm going to look up some different groups, maybe like some kind of self-help groups or something. Maybe I could look into something for people to help or something like that. So you have heard of it? Okay, so hey, Romano, the intention, well, the purpose of meetup.com is you can have your own meetups, online and person, events or anything. I would just want to show you a little bit here about how it goes. It's pretty cool, okay? And it seems to be an up and coming website. So only one person has heard of it. You guys let me know if you've heard of it or been on there real quick. Excuse me. It scared me. I'm sorry. Holy cow. Okay, let me share this real quick. Holy cow, that scared me. Okay. Look at, this is my meetup profile. As you know, my name is not Sydney Lee B. I was also using the name Sydney Lee McGee. So that's me right there, Sydney Lee, as you know. Which is, I didn't change the name until after I decided I was going to do this. I had Lindsay on there first, because it's my name. And I was looking around and I see, okay, these are my interests. I just added stuff, right? Support and recovery, book club. I'm looking to, and I just clicked some things. I was going to make a group, just messing around, getting out of my house and meetings online with people. And I joined these groups because, it's, I found one. This is what Change Your Mindset or Power of the Mind group I found first. And I'm like, okay, cool, Tampa. Let's see what this is about. Watch out, honey bunny. Watch out, honey bunny. Okay, can you guys see? Come here, honey. I can't see. Sit on my lap. Sit on my lap. You're scratching me. Let me make sure it's the right screen. Okay, you guys see the Power of the Mind group? All right. So I'm like, cool. I'm going to look for, fun groups. It's fun to me. Self-help groups are self-help groups, or which would seem like self-help groups, okay? This seemed pretty cool. Okay, Power of the Mind. Let's read it together. Oh, wait, I just clicked on another one. I'm sorry. It's another one I found. I found a whole bunch of these. Read more. This is what we're about, okay? Unlock your mind, improve your life, okay? This is a place for people who want to understand how thoughts, beliefs, and emotions shape our everyday experiences. This group is for anyone interested in mindset, personal growth, emotional intelligence, and the deeper powers of the mind. Cool. I know I'm not supposed to, but I still do! Exclamation point. I know I should, but somehow I just don't. That describes me. I feel like I belong in this group, right? Does this describe anybody else, kind of? Do you want to be bolder but hold yourself back? I think that applies to a lot of people, right? Is it even possible to take control of my subconscious mind? I don't know. Is it? Think about how many opportunities you've missed or things you've held back from doing, all because of that weird feeling deep inside. Some folks call it fear. Others say it's an inner voice or just a strange vibe. Well, I have to join this group because the next sentence really prompted me, because this group is created by the Dianetics and Scientology Life Improvement Center. Wait a minute. I know who that is. Do you guys know who the hell that is? We see it, right? Okay. So I'm interested now. So I add this to my calendar. Look, I'm a member of the group. I add it to my calendar, and can you see it big enough? And I start looking for other ones that have this little thing on the bottom that says, this group is created by the Dianetics and Scientology Life Improvement Center. I'm like, okay, this is Scientology. Maybe it's a recruitment thing. I don't know. I must find out. I must find out why this is here. And just why is it just a little sentence at the end? What is this about? Why is it self-help? What is this? So I'm like, oh, I know what Dianetics is. I know what Scientology is. You got to get down, honey, buddy. Both my phones fell over. All right. It distracts me. I'm sorry. So I found other groups. How to awaken. This one. How to awaken your inner confidence. Do I want to do that? Yeah. Remove the barriers to motivation and confidence is another one, right? Would you like more confidence? Self-confidence is the foundation for your relationships and success in any endeavor. Without certainty in yourself, you may fear rejection, like you're not good enough, and hold yourself back in life. To be more self-confident, you need to know what reduces your confidence and how to repair that. We will discuss this in our meeting. Cool. A lack of confidence can derail your life. It can plague you with negative thoughts about yourself, low self-esteem, and nagging self-doubt. It makes harder to achieve what you want in life. Yet with self-confidence, your ability to succeed is truly exceedingly higher. Yada, yada, yada. Don't want to go over it all, right? But this one is organized by life improvement specialists with the Dianetics and Scientology Life Improvement Center. Okay, that's going on my calendar. Look, Tuesday, August 12th, whatever, 7 to 8. So this has been on my calendar, like reoccurring. And I'm like, I'm going to do this one day. So all of a sudden it's 7 o'clock and it's on my calendar last Thursday. And I go, shit, I'm bored. I'm going to finally do this. This is good. I need to find out what this is about. Anyways, this is interesting stuff. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing that. And go back over here. I'll let you know, Karina, in 1 second. But yeah, we auditing. Let me get to that point. So I decided, last Thursday, like, I'm going to jump on the Zoom meeting. I downloaded Zoom Business really fast. I went on my fake email, Cindy Lee McGee, and it popped up on the screen. And I go, oh, what a shitty name. It's just, I thought it was funny because it rhymed. And I was just thinking of a random name to use for an extra email. Fake C's email. We all got him, okay? All right. So I'm not subtle. I'm not slick. I can be very slick, but it's funny to me. Anyways, so before I show you the video of this cool meeting, I'm gonna explain a lot to you about, well, I don't know if it's a lot, but I'm going to explain to you. I actually had an ex-Scientologist that I know and I'm friends with sit on, I have two phones. I had them sit on the other phone listening to me and this woman, Kathy, have a conversation on the phone about Dianetics and coming in for my first introductory auditing session at the St. Petersburg org, Scientology org. And I posted that picture in the thumbnail. It's downtown St. Pete. It's about 30 minutes from me. Lady was super nice, right? And do I feel bad that she might get into shit for this? Yes. I do feel bad about that. And I second thought doing this because of that, because I think, well, I'll tell you that after this. Okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So you see why I'm interested, right? Because I'm known as, I can be classified as probably an SP, right? From what ex-Scientologists have told me. Like I have spoken out about Scientology and have relationships, friendships with ex-Scientologists, ex-Sea Org members, etc., right? And the Sea Org is within, there's different types of Scientologists. There's public Scientologists. We all know about the Celebrity Center and stuff in LA, to where there's, we know there's a lot of celebrities. Well, there's some celebrities in Scientology that live in the public, but there's also the Sea organization. And that's where they work and live together on property and, dedicate their lives to, quote, clearing the planet, which I'm not going to go into all that right now. I know what it all means, but it's not possible to go into that. And there's a lot of different channels I could direct you to people that do this stuff, because I do not. And I'd like to be able to share that stuff of who can help people and whatnot. But that's my goal, really, is to just show the public that, look what it said right there in that flyer. Right in there, it said this is Scientology. It said this is the Dianetics in Life Improvement, Scientology Life Improvement Center, which is downtown St. Pete for me. And the auditor lives in St. Pete, she said. Sorry, ma'am. So I assume, come on here, honey, sit down. So I do feel bad, but I think this is kind of for the greater good, because they did not lie. This was all using sales techniques. And that is more scary to me, that this wasn't really, at first I thought, wow, this is sneaky. Then I thought about it and I said, in this meeting that I'm about to show you, and in the way that they pulled me in to book my first auditing session, which was Friday at 1 p.m. in downtown St. Pete, how they did that to me using these, just a few moves, I'm like, this is misleading and manipulative. But then I looked at it and I go, well, it's actually not dishonest if I break this down. They're using sales techniques and different gradients, right? Like step by step. And it's obvious. Hey, Deborah. But they do use a play on words. The problem that I want to say with this, and I think I should wait till after to say it, but because Scientology is classified as a religion, right? But what are all religions and beliefs and ideas? They're ideologies. Ideologies are everywhere. Political ideologies, group dynamics of anything, even the anti-Scientology group, even, Scientology, whatever. They're just ideologies, okay? That's not good, bad, nothing. It's just is what it is, just a group and in their beliefs and ideologies they all have. They share moral beliefs, etc. What's scary about Scientology, from what I have learned from other ex-Scientologists, is the fact that because L. Ron Hubbard was the creator of Scientology, and he made Scientology as an ideology. I mean, that would later become a religion with the government to be classified, tax exempt status, et cetera, et cetera. But this would sort of, an ideology can make sense of the world, your place in it. And once you start using it for that reason, your identity must change and you take on the role. The ideology takes over all your thinking, right? So this shows the beginning of how someone can be sucked into an ideology that wants to take you all the way. They want to take you all the way. They don't just want to take you to Dianetics and not Scientology, like they say in the first meeting, or in the second talk I had with Kathy, which she said, well, Scientology is a part of it. Oh, now it's a part of it. Okay. Now it's at a Sea Org, or it's at a foundation center or whatever, Life Improvement Center. I'm so sorry. Life Improvement Center, which is an org, she called. And I go, an org, like a church? Yeah. Oh, explain this to me. I had her explain it to me. I asked her, why is it not a cult? Is it a cult? They say that's a cult. I acted very stupid, and I got some answers. She didn't out and out freaking lie to me. And that's crazy to me. And that made me want to do this more, to show you guys this. Once that any ideology takes over all your thinking, it will soon become your identity. So in this case, people become Scientologists. They go in here, right? They get some quote wins, some gains, or whatever they call it. I don't remember. And you can tangibly see how these Dianetics courses, and what I understand is that I'd probably be placed in a communications course of some type for my first course, second course, whatever, right? Some type of common sense, helpful, on not any specific type of course. And I correct me if I'm wrong. I have a lot of ex-Scientologists that would know, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not. Okay. I'm just someone that has been against Scientology and thought, well, I should see how far I get. Also, they know who I am. Let's see how far I get without them figuring out who I am. Well, they know who I am now because they watch my channel. So sorry, not sorry, but I did not go to the auditing session. Okay. I had an appointment with my kid instead. In real Scientology, to my understanding, you don't pick family over Scientology, especially not an auditing session. Okay. Yes, LRH is an author. He wrote science fiction novels, which, does anybody else think that's kind of funny to me? Because when I first heard it, I go, ha ha ha, wait, science fiction, get it? And Xenu, and I was like I forgot who I was telling this, because I live in Clearwater, you guys. So that's how I've got to this point. I live in Clearwater. I have my whole life. Clearwater is where Flag is. It's like their spiritual center, I believe. It's called. Please at any time. I know Alonzo's here. I saw him, and any other ex-Scientologists correct me, please. I don't claim to be full of knowledge on this subject. I know what I know. I am what I am. Okay. I had relationships with ex-Scientologists for years, friendships, relationships, etc. So people that have publicly spoken out about Scientology. So I'm aware of the anti-Scientology community. I have a certain understanding of Scientology, which this has actually prompted me to go forward now and actually read Dianetics. And I bought a few other things that I wanted to look through and compare it to actual psychology that I know in certain types of therapy. Because as this was presented to me as a type of therapy, okay, Dianetics is a type of therapy, she said. As I said, with therapy, it's a book. I've never heard of it. Scientology, where does that come in, right? So let me just play this. But that's why this was important to me, because it went from me messing around on meetup.com, and it made me think, why would someone maybe join a group like this to meet other people? Well, maybe they're at some type of vulnerability in their life. Maybe they're new somewhere. A lot of people in this group were new, and my phone died throughout this, and it's the worst recording in history because I'm literally like this, and I'm literally like sick, and I'm looking at the camera, and instead of screen recording it because I was late, I jumped on late, and I was like, oh, I can't do this again. I would have re-recorded and done another meeting if I knew I was going to do all this. Okay. So that's why it's half-ass. Okay. So don't penalize me for that. Okay. We're just getting the message across. We're here for the message. And that's it. Thank you. I am a girl in the street. I didn't even have to get a personality test. I'll tell you what. And I didn't have to go there. But I was going to bring Kathy $25 for Dianetics books, and we're going to get started. I was going to have my first auditing session at 1 p.m. this past Friday, and I was going to solve some problems. She said instantly it was going to give me relief on my problem of, I said I have an issue isolating and making friends, and I don't have friends, and I don't know what my problem is. So I just made something up that I knew that they were going to want to hear. I cheated, I guess. Okay, whatever. Something like that I knew they were going to want to hear. That I needed something, that I have this problem, that they can provide the solution for me, because that's sales, right? Okay, let me, without further ado, whatever, I'm rambling. I just want to make sure I'm explaining my purpose for this thoroughly and the value that it can hold. Let me pull up my half-ass video, because it's just kind of important to hear. I heard reactive mind. I heard introverted. I heard other things in here that I go, oh yeah, I'm in the right place. And it went exactly how I predicted it would go. And I was, in fact, shocked. In the video, I'm like, yeah, this is good. Because I don't mean it's good, but I'm like, this is exactly what I thought it was. And I'm glad I came, because I wanted to see. I know. It's wild to me that it's this freaking quick. And Scientology is not going to stop at just Dianetics, right? What do they want? They want all your money, like I said. Don't they? I mean, I would think their goal is to probably get hundreds of thousands out of you, maybe go in the Sea Org, I don't know, work for free, stuff like that. I'm just guessing. That's what I've been told. And disconnect from your family, and essentially people call it a cult. Well, that's kind of scary. So I'm not going to tell you it is or it isn't. That's for you to decide. And if you have further questions, like I said, there is an ex-Scientologist community where you can learn more about it. And if you want to share it with anybody, go for it. If you want to help somebody, okay? I don't do that on my channel. I just want to do my best to. This was just really interesting to me. So let me figure out how the hell to do this real quick. How do I do this on my screen? Oh, I got to upload it on here. Does anybody have any questions? Am I explaining this correctly so far? I believe so. Wait a minute. Hold, please. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on. Yeah, I thought I exported it. My bad. No, don't click that. There it is. The edited version is in here. I think we might have to show the unedited. I don't know. Do I hope to go clear one day? Like, wait, no. I think I've been found out. I think my cover is blown. I don't think I'll be able to go clear. I don't think they'd appreciate me or let me on their property, probably. But that's okay. My name did accidentally send over to the lady after. It was disconnected with my contact info. So I was like, no, my name's Sydney. I was like, oh, dunce. So, oh, wait, here it is. Oh my God. Okay, load, please, ma'am. I went on CapCut. This was the worst thing I've ever had to do, is put clips together and try to figure out how to edit the faces. Like, I literally mean that. I'm not being dramatic at all. This is not the edited one. This is bullshit. How does this happen? We're not going to give up. Because I will just show you the unedited one with no fucks to give. I don't care who's shown. Or their phone numbers. Yep, that's looking like the situation. Select. Oh well. Yeah, for some reason, does anybody know why I cannot export this properly? It's not letting it come up. Oh, wait, I figured it out. I'm totally clear. Yes, I wish. Come on. I'm just going to show my entire screen. Oh, the AC, it sucks. To share your screen, allow screen recording for Chrome and system settings. What? What? Allow? Okay. Password, finger. Okay. Here we go. Entire screen. It's hot though right now, because it's summer. It sucks. I'm doing my best. Doing my best. Yeah, I thought I downloaded it to the actual account, like my actual cloud here. Okay, open setting systems again. Present. I just did this. Let me do it, please, computer. I don't think I should care either. I think I'm just gonna do it. It is public. You know, I think it's okay. Let's just do it. I apologize to anyone out there. I don't know that I do. I don't think I do. So here's some, this is some crazy unedited shit right here. But it's gonna do because this is reality. Okay? And I'm not your girl for all this. I need to hire someone to do this for me. It's the worst recording that anybody could ever have done, probably. Post more shopping videos, I will. But really, I want you to hear it. So tell me how this sounds when I play it, okay? That's the important part. And we don't need to hear more than this is 16 minutes. This is a lot. This is a lot for me to sit through, okay? And I know you guys too. But I just want you to get an idea of how they do this. Okay, play. Play, my man.
That's the reactive mind. Okay, Darian, I'm gonna pick on you. What brought you here tonight?
Well, for starters, good evening, everybody.
Here.
I am here to find a friend who has the same interests as me. I am a adventurous person. I like to travel. I love to watch anime, and I like to play some like video games. And I'm basically a gaming nerd, and like to make friends and have the same interests, and basically just do what I do. Like go out, go to the movies.
You guys see me at the top?
And have a great time.
Do you have problems making friends?
Yeah. I guess you could kind of say I do. I have like some friends, but they don't really click. My other friends and back then in like Long Island, New York. I was from New York, and I lived and I just moved to Florida almost 2 years ago. So I'm new in town.
What town are you in?
West Side.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Okay, good. It sounds like we got a common theme here. Everybody wants to.
Judy.
COVID didn't help, and we're all kind of isolated, and we all want to build relationships, and there's a barrier there. And if you knew what the barrier was, you could fix it. So we're going to talk about what that barrier is. So anybody that didn't get a chance to speak, you can go ahead and chat with Pradeep on what brought you here. That would be really good. It'd be really good for Kathy when she does get to talk to you. So she has a little bit of information on why you're here.
You guys, so I only got the last guy in because I already had shared, and I said I made something up on the spot of why I'm here, and I want to make friends in my area because it said Tampa Bay, and you'll see it on the chat here, Tampa Bay meetup. So it's for Tampa Bay people, right? Like, so this lady was in St. Pete. But so she asked everybody, a lot of people said the same thing. They have trouble with relationships. They have trouble meeting people. They just moved somewhere. Isolation was huge. All things like depression, anxiety, stuff like that, right? Okay. After everyone spoke, she said, you heard it in the beginning, reactive mind. She said, that's your reactive mind. I can help you with that. Okay, that's important. Scientology.
Okay, so now I'm going to get into Meetup. So what I'm going to go over tonight intimately and directly affects each and every one of you. Whether it's problems in social gatherings, making friends, problems dealing with people in business or life, things like being introverted, by thoughts or emotions, not wanting to reach out to people, not being able to say what you truly want, or making connection with people,
repeating stuff
or just being or having uncomfortable feelings around other people or in certain situations. And for many, this totally intimately affects your communication. This is not a situation where anyone desires, regardless of whether you're interacting with or in any sort of activity. What we're going to go over can affect important opportunities in life as well as interactions with others. What you're going to find out is there's literally a common denominator, and you're going to be surprised at what it is and how much it affects your confidence.
Everyone did.
So I want you to do thumbs up or thumbs down, or if you don't have your video on, give me the little, you can do it with the reaction, thumbs up, thumbs down, or happy or sad face, I don't care. I want to ask you, is it true for you that all stress, anxiety, and depression, that they do not come from good experiences? You say, yes, that's true. You think it's good experiences or bad? It's kind of a backwards question. Yeah. If it's true that they don't come from a good experience, thumbs up. If you think they come from good experience, thumbs up.
Wait, what?
Okay. Got some other reactions. Carrie, Sydney, I think you gave me reaction.
Excuse me. What was the question again?
Okay. So it's kind of a backwards question. Is it true for you that any stress you have, anxiety, depression, is it true for you that they do not come from good experiences?
Yeah.
In other words, they come from bad experiences. If they come from bad experiences, yes. If they come from good experiences, no. Bad. So I think most people agree they come from bad experiences. And they factually come from painful experiences and can continue to affect you and the people you love. So first, we're going to talk about physically painful experiences and how those traumas,
Physically.
are some of the traumas, the physical traumas that can create problems later on. So we're going to look at maybe a small, I want to get an example. Kelly, I haven't called on you. Give me an example of a physically painful experience that wasn't that bad, like you stubbed a toe, you hit your elbow or something like that. Give anything that's happened to you recently? I'm not getting anything. Nancy, you give me an example of that. Nancy Ball.
Something that was painful.
Yeah, painful, physically painful.
I cut my finger. I was filing some papers, and is that what you're talking about? Just
Yeah, absolutely.
okay. So a big paper cut that
The woman that called me right now.
devastated me for an
Sorry,
hour
Kathy.
because I couldn't continue with what I was doing because it hurt so much.
I know, this a little, those paper cuts can get you.
Stupid. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Give me an example of something that was maybe that happened to you or someone you know that was more intense physical pain, like breaking a bone or something like that.
Did you say Naomi?
I did.
Oh. What was the question?
So give me an example of a physically painful experience that you've had that, you know, has hurt more than like break a bone, more than stub a toe, like something more intense, took a while to recover from.
Well, I feel like I'm still trying to recover from it. A person just walking away from me unexpectedly, and I feel like I need closure, and he's not giving it to me. So
Okay, so that's emotionally painful, which was my next question. So we're going to take that one for emotionally painful. David, can you give me a physically painful experience you've had?
Well, a long time ago, I had to have knee surgery because I tore the meniscus in my knee.
That sounds very painful.
That was painful.
Yeah, and then we got one example of a emotionally painful experience. Let's see, Darlene, you haven't called on you yet. Give me an example of an emotionally painful experience you've had.
Okay, sure. I guess mine would be something just recently happened. I was working in corporate for 10 years and I hurt my back, so I left corporate and I am now retired, and I had to get help from one of my children to pay my bills, and that was emotionally distraught for me. And I guess that would be very painful because I didn't want to have to do that.
Absolutely. That's a good example. Mm-hmm. So there's a big gamut of physically painful. You know, I fell on my bicycle. That was painful. I broke a bone one time. That was painful. And emotionally painful. You know, you lose a loved one or a pet. Sometimes losing a pet can be extremely emotionally painful. You break up with somebody. And even things a little bit more intense like war trauma. I just read a big article in the Wall Street Journal about how all these guys are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, you know, PTSD.
Oh, PTSD.
And they're giving them cocktails, handfuls of drugs that are causing all sorts of other problems. But those are emotionally painful and maybe physically painful as well. So those are some of those examples. So here's the thing. It's a fact that unless one begins to handle past painful experiences, emotionally and physical, built up in his reactive mind, he doesn't progress. He can stick in these past painful experiences. So we're going to look at symptoms. We're going to talk about symptoms and causes. So first we're going to talk about symptoms. So I want to know thumbs up, thumbs down, or you don't have to answer. Who, if you didn't have it, you don't have to say no, but who has experienced any of these following life changes? So who here has had depression, where they didn't want to get out of bed for a while? Got it. Who has negative thoughts? You know, those thoughts that, oh, you can't do that. Why are you even trying? That kind of stuff. Who has that? Okay. Who has self-doubt? you do something and then you go, wow, did I do that right? Am I good enough? Kind of like negative thoughts too. Okay, this is a big one. You hear about this a lot. Who feels like they have stress in their life? Everybody, yeah, stress. That's a big one. All right, how many people out there have weight fluctuations? Your weight goes up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about anxiety or nervousness? Got it. What about low energy or drive? You just don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to get off the chair. You don't want to get out of the house. Who is that?
I think I raised my hand
Okay,
for everyone.
good.
Everyone.
Who has
Yes, Bob.
your emotions are out of control? Like you get angry for no good reason, or all of a sudden you start crying for no good reason. Anybody have that?
I didn't raise my hand. I don't
Not
want
so much. How about lack of self-confidence? Where you just don't feel like you're good enough to do something. Got it. And how many people feel like your past is holding you back in the present? Good. That is the reactive mind. So those are symptoms.
That's the reactive mind.
So these symptoms, do you think they're desired, or do you want them, or do you not want them? Good symptoms, bad symptoms. Bad symptoms. Everybody's giving me bad symptoms. Okay.
What's the
Do they ask permission? Like you're going to go into a meeting and you think you're okay, and all of a sudden you get terribly nervous. Is the symptom saying, "Okay, I'm going to really make your life hard. Let's get you nervous"? That is the symptom ask permission to come in? Yes? No? Okay. And if you don't have your video on, I love it when you put your video on, by the way. It really helps me to see you guys. And I know people are shy. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you don't have your video on, use the little reaction so I can make sure you're getting my communication. So do these symptoms come at good times or bad times? Bad times. Yes, exactly. Okay. So here's the thing. Symptoms are not causes. You're going to find out that these symptoms have typically been occurring for a while. They've been hitting you for some time. And they may be triggered by something. Sometimes you know what they're triggered by. You hear an ambulance go by, and maybe you had an accident, you were in an ambulance, and all of a sudden you feel nervous. And sometimes you just feel nervous and you don't know why. So, but there's something triggering these symptoms. We're going to talk about that. And the symptoms are indicators. They're not causes. They're just showing you that something is going on. And people think that symptoms are causes rather than indicators. Like, for example, they say, "Oh, your problem is you have depression." Well, okay, but that's a symptom. Your problem is that you don't have any self-confidence.
Don't look at that.
Again, that's a symptom. Where's that coming from? So, like, I'll give you an example. So I just went to the dentist, and I had pain in my tooth. And if my dentist had said, "Okay, you got a pain in your tooth, take this drug, see me in 6 months."
I'm eating it all
Take the drug wears off, what's going to happen? Darian, what's going to happen to my tooth?
I'm setting up my meeting.
Your tooth will eventually come out, depending on the situation, and eventually will hurt.
Exactly. As soon as that medication goes away, my pain will come back.
My dumbass.
Okay, I had a friend of mine who was a kind of a slipshod mechanic. I said, "Hey, my check engine light's on." He said, "Okay, I can fix that." Pulled the plug on the check engine light. Did that fix anything? Yes? No, that didn't fix anything.
Oh, Judy.
I'll give you another example. So say right now it's summertime, might be going to a concert in the evening. So you go to a concert in the evening and it's hot, it's muggy, there's some water nearby. What happens? Mohammed, what happens when you're at that concert? You gotta unmute yourself, Mohammed.
They're just beside me.
The question? What's the question?
So you're at a concert at night, outside, it's muggy, by the woods, maybe a stream. What's gonna happen?
I would be in a bad mood.
You'll be in the bedroom? What?
Bad mood.
Bad mood. Yeah, but what's gonna get you? Who knows? So raise your hand if you know. You answers. Mosquitoes. You're gonna get a ton of mosquito bites.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you're in Florida, you're gonna get those no-see-ums. Anybody in Florida get those no-see-ums where the next day you got all these red things and you don't even know what happened? Okay, so next time you go to a concert at night, what are you gonna do? Dawn, what are you gonna do? I see you again now.
Spray yourself.
Spray yourself, exactly. Maybe wear some long sleeves.
We're like kindergartners.
You know what caused those bites. They didn't just happen. You know there was a cause. So you're going to spot the cause and you're going to do something about it. So this may seem very simple, but when it comes to the mind, people think their symptoms are causes. They have depression. They have lack of confidence. And there's just nothing they can do. They can drug it. They can pretend they don't have it. They can just stay inside all the time and not make friends, but they're not handling the cause. So the information that I'm going to tell you about is based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard, who is an American philosopher. And he developed two subjects called Dianetics and Scientology. And these are the tools that I learned that really helped me. The book, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health. You've probably seen this in the bookstore. 75th anniversary is a science of the mind. It's about how the mind works. And it helps people fully get over these painful experiences. In other words, once you do this technique, that past trauma is not going to affect you anymore after that. And we'll go over why that happens. It's pretty amazing because it addresses the cause, not the symptom. So it's going to find the bad tooth, the cavity, fill it. It's going to find out what's wrong with the engine and fix it.
I don't know why I showed that.
Those are the things that Dianetics does. And we're not talking about Scientology now, but that is a study of knowledge about life. And that's a whole other subject. But Dianetics came first in 1950. And thousands of people have used it to make their lives better. So here's the question. Here's the big question. A lot of people want to know. What causes the mind to depart from rational thought or behavior? So like you guys probably saw this guy in New York City who decided his problem was because of the NFL. I don't even know if he actually played for the NFL. He played football somewhere. I never got the full story. And Darlene, you were shaking your head. Did he play?
My phone died right there. So there's another 8 minutes that I could probably play, that I should probably play. That my phone died for a couple minutes and then I came back to it. But she hold on, let me pull it up. It's just interesting to show like how she did this. Hold on. Let me pull up the other one. Desktop. Show me the proof. She's gonna show us all the proof, okay? You just have to believe. Duh. Hold on one second, my friends. Let me go back to this. I gotta upload it. That's bullshit. No, I don't. Here it is. One second, guys. So I'm going to say sorry again for that recording. I was struggling and I had to put it down to type and then it died. So I'm really not prepared for this, right? I really wasn't. Like I said, it was spur of the moment. And I was super interested as she's, the way she's laying this out is to where you're going to say yes to practically everything, in my opinion. So you have a problem, right? Well, we have a solution. I have this is the answer. Dianetics. And this is, this is everything that this woman that talked to me on the phone is everything that she found when she was in her 50s, and she's in her 70s or 80s now. And this was the answer to her life issues, her problems. And I believe that she really believes this. And that is why I do feel bad revealing who they are, because I know they'll have to write a knowledge report on themselves and get audited or whatever it would be called. I don't know. Go talk to someone about this, or that's what I'm understanding about this. Sorry, but it might be good for you. I don't know. Actually, I don't think that would be good. I don't know. So yeah, who's read Dianetics? Anybody? If I came to the meetup to make new acquaintances, I would have been disappointed by that weird meeting. There were people very disappointed. So what I did not get on film, the one gentleman you heard speak first, that was looking for friends, he said, I'm going to leave this meeting early. And I was like, I was waiting for someone to say it. And he said, this is not what I thought this was. And I said, oh, cool. 2 other women that were actually in the video. There was 2 pages of people. I only looked one time at the next page. I got cat hair in my mouth. 2 of the other women on that front page said, hold on, I want to do, I'm kind of interested in what you have to say about Dianetics and this therapy, right? This therapy, I don't think it's therapy though, is it? I don't know. It could be a type of therapy, I guess, kind of a broad term. She said it's better than therapy though. When we got on the phone, she said this works instantly after I think she said 45 minutes to 3.5 hour auditing session. Instantly, you're going to unravel. She said, unravel these things, and get in touch with all these things going on in your mind that have been bothering you, and you're going to find solutions. You're going to instantly have relief. And I said, instantly? How come I've never heard of this? This is called Dianetics. You said it was written in the 50s, I believe she said, right? You guys know. I said, wow, this was like, it relieved you had the same problems as me, as isolating, as making friends, really just belonging and improving relationships, communication. Yeah, it was exactly like that, Lindsay, or Sydney, I'm sorry. Right. Well, nothing. I am going to play this next part because it sounds like she's talking about trauma, but it's not. It's a very wrong. I've learned nothing in psychology but what the fuck they're saying. Excuse my language. What she's saying, except is thrown in there trauma reactions, right? When she's talking about the reactive mind, etc. And she's talking about things that happen, and then she's talking about trauma responses, but they don't call it that. That's the reactive mind, I guess. This is what I'm understanding. This is why I'm going to go further and learn about it, because I do know these things about trauma and psychology and types of therapy, and so I'm going to compare it and look at it and see what is this? What are they using mixed together? Because I couldn't gather that she's simply just talking about this, because the things didn't add up that she's saying. It wasn't just trauma. It's some others. I don't know yet. Seems a little not true. I don't know. Nothing like I've heard. Because I know that's not how. I thought for a minute, is she talking about the subconscious mind? Is she talking about trauma reactions? Well, I don't know. She's talking about a lot of different things mixed together. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. All right. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. It's still uploading. Why wouldn't it be there after I did this already? Only one of them was there. And I downloaded 4 of them. That's some BS. What would they call that in Scientology? It's hot. Okay, it's almost done. Meow. Come on. Hold on. A couple more seconds. Apologies. Who, me? Are you saying I'm not doing my job quick enough? Am I causing you more trouble as a supervisor, sir? I think, hey, that's your opinion. I'm not going to jail for saying it. What concerns me about Scientology is that it invalidates honest and natural reactions to physical and emotional experiences. Yeah. You see how you could get you? A lot of people have told me that Dianetics, people that were not in Scientology, but people that were never in Scientology that have read Dianetics have told me similar things, that it's very difficult to understand. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be difficult for me. I have had it for 6 months now. I bought it for like $1 and I was like, oh, I just can't bring myself to do it. And then now I'm like, well, now I am interested in this because I want to see how it can be, what is actually real that they're using, and what did L. Ron, or supposed to be L. Ron, whoever, add in there or make up. I'm guessing. I don't know yet. I don't want to do contempt prior to investigation, okay? Because I do have that, very much so. I do not believe in it. And so that means I kind of need to see for myself, right? And see where are they taking these ideas from? Where did he get these ideas from? Is he taking it from different sources and adding them together? Probably. Is he making shit up? Probably. Mixing them together? I don't know. I will see. We could ask a Scientologist, but I think it'd be cool to have my opinion as a person never in Scientology and has no understanding of it. But I first have an understanding of actual therapy types and psychology, and then reading it to understand it with a different background palette. Like I didn't grow up with Scientology as my reality and my norm. Super fascinating. Okay, so this video is not working because I'm not a genius. Once again, we are met with that. And I'm gonna try one more thing because it's right here.
At Walmart,
Oh,
or
wait.
stab so many people at Walmart. You know, it's just like we see it so.
Export, ma'am. So it's on my desktop. Can I share it from my desktop? Let me see here. I can, right? Present. I'm sweating. It's not letting me. You guys want to just hear it for 8 minutes? This is some bullshit. I'm sorry. Let me just play it because it's not like you can really see what I was doing anyways. It's so shaky. Sorry. But we're getting the message. It's also sideways, so let's just play it. I really just wanted to get this video out because I was going to forget what me and old Kathy said on the phone if I waited any longer.
It's very active mind.
Nope, wrong one.
Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
At Walmart, or stab so many people at Walmart. You know, it's just like we see it so much that we've gotten kind of used to it, which is kind of a sad state of affairs. But you know, and that's a pretty extreme situation. But what is causing the mind? You know, what causes somebody to get really, really upset with their kid and start yelling at them when, you know, they're just a kid, you know? or they get so mad at their mom that they won't talk to them. What causes this kind of stuff? So that's the question that Mr. Hubbard wanted to find out, and that is the subject of Dianetics. So here's the thing. This is all about the reactive mind. Every moment of your life, your mind is...
Hold on. It's not where I wanted to go. I'm missing a portion here. Give me grace, please, friends.
They can drug it, they can pretend they don't have it, they can just stay inside all the time. It's the mind. It's about how the mind works.
We
And
already
it
played
helps
this.
people fully. I saw this guy in New York City who decided his problem was because of the NFL. I don't even know if
I know
he
what she's talking
actually played for the NFL.
We talked
He
about
played
it.
football
We
somewhere.
played that.
I never got the full story. And Darlene, you were shaking your head. Did he play up Walmart or stab so many people in Walmart? You know, it's just like we see it so much that we've gotten kind of used to it, which is kind of a sad state of affairs.
Stabbing at Walmart.
But
Or shooting.
you know, and that's a pretty extreme situation. But what is causing the mind? You know, what causes somebody to get really, really upset with their kid and start yelling at them when, you know, they're just a kid, you know, or they get so mad at their mom that they won't talk to them. What causes this kind of stuff? So that's the question that Mr. Hubbard wanted to find out, and that is the subject of Dianetics.
Is it?
So here's the thing. This is all about the reactive mind. Every moment of your life, your mind is recording everything that's happening to you. Every sight, every sound, every taste, smell, pain, emotion, touch, everything. You can actually go back and, with a little bit of help, remember all of your experiences. And what Mr. Hubbard discovered is that in Dianetics, all of your painful experience in the past are stored in a previously unknown portion of your mind called the reactive mind. It's different than the analytical mind, where you can use that to think, solve problems. The reactive mind stores things with stress and trauma, things you don't want to have to deal with.
Does this make sense to you?
There it is, and it's still there. It's not gone. You may not try not to think about it. It is not gone. It is still in your active mind. And it's the source of your stress, unreasonable fears, and insecurities. That's where this is coming. And it's possessed by everybody. Everybody here has it. No human being examined anywhere was discovered to be without a reactive mind. And it's the portion of the mind that files and retains physical pain and painful emotional experiences. And it operates exclusively on physical pain and painful emotion. Now, you may be able to remember some of your painful emotion, and maybe if you know, somebody said they had a knee operation, you might be able to remember some of that, but you don't remember all of it. You may think you do, but there's parts of it that you haven't, that you've been stuck in that reactive mind, and you're not really.
Sounds like a way to put in false memories,
And
huh?
the reactive mind doesn't remember. It just records and uses that recording to produce action.
We'll have to pull it out of you. I don't know.
So, like, for example, for me, you know, I had some trauma. I had some painful emotional experiences in my childhood. So when someone was telling me what a bad person I was, I just thought, I must be, you know, I must be a bad person. Because the reactive mind was just playing back these old experiences. Where if now someone told me that, I'd say, get out of here, you know, no, I'm a good person. Leave me alone. You know, but then I had a very emotional and devastating response to that kind of communication. And that was from the reactive mind. And it doesn't think, it doesn't analyze things. It just selects recordings,
Trauma responses?
impinges them upon the conscious mind and the body
Subconscious?
without the knowledge or consent of the individual. And it throws these experiences back at you in an irrational attempt to get you to avoid the same painful thing.
Trauma responses.
You have some bad relationships, you have trauma. You may not want to go to the house again. You don't want to try that again because, you know, that's scary. It's hard. You can get rejected
Just
again.
trauma
You don't want that painful experience again. And I'll give you a
That's
good
bullshit.
example. This is kind of a silly example in a way, but it kind of really makes the point. So
That's
Hi,
not,
friend of
and it's
mine.
not true.
Loved deviled eggs. Loved them. Could eat a dozen, which is really 6 eggs. A lot of eggs. And he went to a picnic his family had, and his aunt Gwyneth made really, really good deviled eggs. So he ate as many as he could, stuffed them in his mouth. Unfortunately, they had been sitting outside for a little too long.
She's talking about a trauma response.
And what happens when deviled eggs sit outside for too long? Christy, I never called on you. Tell me. It's bad, right? You get food poisoning, right? Yeah. So during that day, there was sounds of kids running around. It was a park. There was a Ferris wheel going around. He could hear people talking about politics, and he could smell chicken roasting or grilling, whatever. He had all these sight, sound, smells. His friend patted him on the back, touch, and he got violently ill.
Sounds like trauma.
So fast forward about, maybe 10 years later, he's really pretty much forgotten about this incident.
It's a familiar situation.
He goes to a picnic. Nobody even has deviled eggs at this picnic. He smells roasted chicken, or grilled chicken, I mean. Maybe there's a Ferris wheel nearby, there's kids playing, and all of a sudden he gets violently ill. Maybe not quite as bad as when he actually ate the eggs, but he's feeling queasy and not good, and he just wants to leave. He doesn't want to be there.
Trauma response.
And that's the reactive
to a previous
mind.
trauma.
So
Not reactive mind.
if food
No such
poisoning
thing.
can cause that for no logical reason, can you see how an
Yes.
emotional or physically painful experience can do the same?
Exactly.
Yes? Good. So I'm going to call on a few people I haven't called on. So Etilia, I hope I'm saying that right. Can you give me an example where something in your past came out and bit you in the butt later?
Absolutely not.
Can you turn your mic on, Etilia?
It's a recruiting
No?
tool
Okay, I'm going to go to Lisa. Lisa, can you give me an example?
for a call.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm back.
That's good. We want to hear from you. I want to say your name.
Italia.
Italia. I was pretty close.
I was still having a hard time with the screen because I'm doing it on my phone. What's the question again?
If you had an experience where something in your past got triggered by something in the present, either knowingly or unknowingly.
Not to my understanding.
Yes. Okay, so
I'm not sure.
when I was little, I was maybe 7. I was involved in an accident. So in the way it went was it just kind of the vehicle flipped on the curb. It was a sharp curve. Now every time I just realized that in the last 10 years, every time I do a curve and it's very sharp,
You need Scientologists?
I get afraid. It's automatically.
She's talking about trauma
automatically there.
response.
So that's one thing.
That is a
She's
really good
scared.
example.
Yeah.
Okay, Emma, how about you? I don't think you say observer. You want to tell us an example? Do you feel like talking?
I just joined. I think the example is like maybe like
I thought
when
she was a Scientologist.
when you like in the past when you had to like break up your ex and all the restaurant you went to, and if you have really bad experience. For example, there's one restaurant and I found out that like the restaurant where I went to and then my ex-boyfriend like cheated on me, and then next time I never want to go back to that restaurant ever again. And then every single time I see that restaurant, it's like bad memory.
Exactly. That is the reactive mind.
Trauma response.
And Brandon, give me an example of a past event being triggered in the present. Brandon, are you able to get your mic on? Okay, I'm trying to think of who.
Can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Ooh. You don't want it bad enough
I'd say
to be better?
I had a
That what
really
that
bad
means?
car accident one time, and
Trauma.
I would say speeding, but I was going a little faster than I should have been. So when I'm driving, every time I go, I think I'm going too fast. I can feel just like
No.
in fact, I just
Never pro Scientology. Is that the end of it? No, I've always been anti Scientology since I was little, and we used to Well, we didn't know better, but we would yell at them walking down the street, the Sea Org members in Clearwater, downtown. I wouldn't be friends with anti-Scientologists if I was pro-Scientology, my friend. Let's see. Is this true? It seems like it. No, I already have Scientology already doesn't like me, and so this really is okay. Lindsay's trying to make us run. I like to tell Scientology go fuck themselves and OSA very often when I'm on here randomly, and I know they're watching, so I think they like it. I've been trying to get them to call me back about taking me off a website. They're not calling me back. It's rude. It's really rude. I was like, wow. Okay, so the phone call. Okay, let me say the end of this. So do you see what I meant by describing a little bit of trauma and trauma responses? Anyone can see how those things are related, right? So of course you're gonna say, yeah, maybe this woman knows what she's talking about, but don't forget, what did that flyer say? We're meeting new people here. This is a meetup. I didn't know this was an introductory hour-long meeting on meetup.com on Zoom for an hour about the Scientologists saying Dianetics is the answer. She said it's part of Scientology, but that's to talk about another day. Did you hear her say that? Scientology, I think, is the study of, what did she say? Study of life? The woman on the phone, Kathy, told me Dianetics is a study of the mind, and Scientology is a study of the spirit, I believe. Is this true, ex-Scientologist in my room? Don't all of you hide at once. We know you're in here. The study of knowledge. Study of knowledge? Okay. So why'd the other lady say spirit? No, so there are different, the billion-year contract is what? People going into the Sea organization, aka Sea Org, which is they work for Scientology and they sign a billion-year symbolic contract. It's not funny. Contract to clear the planet. You know, they're going to work hard and they have to do this to, Alonzo, can you explain it simply? To make the world a better place, right? For everyone. And they want to, don't they want to gain as many people to go clear as well, to join their purpose? I know. Yes. So there is a group of ex-Scientologists on YouTube that tell their stories. I don't want to give you specific ones, so I don't know how to do this, but there is a foundation. There's a couple foundations, but and there's a couple people to clear this planet as a goal. There's a couple people you can look up anti-Scientology, and a lot of people will come up. And yes. So do you see how literally being in a vulnerable spot? I have been in a vulnerable spot the past year. I relapsed my recovery, right? I went through shit. I mean, Scientology kind of fucked with me a little bit. I don't care what anybody says. If they think they didn't, they did a lot. And anti-Scientologists fucked with me. But, you know, I think more so, I was not the nicest either because of personalities. And that sucks. But really what it's all about is Scientology. And I do, at the end of the day, I've always looked into different religions, philosophies, ideologies, quotes, or cults, in quotes. And exactly. So yes, so no, I've always been anti-Scientology. And have been friends with people that were loud critics of Scientology. And I appreciate them for telling their story. And I know they're like living in trauma when they're telling their story. It's sad. But there are ways to heal. And so those are the people that I like to watch. When I do, I try not to too much because it's trauma sometimes, and it's sad, like I said. So yes, I think that's what I've gathered. I've already known this, but this is what I continue to see pop up. Someone going to this website. This is an excellent recruiting tool for them. And that's another reason that I had to say this. I had to share this. Okay. So meetup.com is where all of these groups are found. And they're founded, sponsored. The group is made by, it said, I read it to you in the beginning of the video, from Dianetics and the Scientology Life Improvement Center. Right. So they were going to have me meet them this past Friday, meet that woman that I talked to on the phone, and she was said that she could solve my problems. And it was simply like unraveling a string. And at the end of 45 minutes to, I think, 3.5 hours, or I think she said 3.5 hours, I would get instant relief, unlike any type of therapy in the world. And I said, hey, I don't want to insult you, after I heard her talk, but I acted stupid. I'd never heard of Dianetics book. I'd never heard of Scientology, except for the fact that I did hear it was a cult. And I said, can you explain to me what that means? Why would someone say that? I just don't understand. And she said, they want us shut down. I said, who? The psychiatrist. I said, psychiatrist? You mean psychiatrist? But I said, but I thought you said this was a therapy. I know that they're separate things, but I wanted to know if she did. Okay. Psychiatry and therapy are very different. Okay. Psychiatry prescribes medications, right? Therapy is, and psychotherapy, same thing. It is a therapy. It's a therapeutic intervention. It's a different type of therapy. It's a broad umbrella. We could say this is a type of therapy. She did say that. Is she technically lying? I don't know, because I know what therapy means, and you could say it's a type of therapy. It has therapeutic value, perhaps, to some. This is what's fucked up about this, okay? So because I work in the therapy field, the therapeutic field, and counseling, etc., I'm like, wow, this is a big kind of, I mean, you're telling me that this can solve all of my problems, right? So in sales, so someone explained to me that L. Ron Hubbard, which is the founder of Dianetics and Scientology, right? He watched this gentleman named Les Dane, last name Dene. He was a used car salesman, and he made a he wrote a book, I think. He wrote a book about selling used cars, and it was supposed to be made for used car salesmen. My dad's a used car salesman, or was. So I find this funny. And I want to ask him if he's ever heard of this book later on. I'm going to ask him tomorrow, okay? Anyways, L. Ron, Mr. Hubbard, as Judy was saying, Mr. Hubbard, that feels disgusting to say. He said he wanted everybody that was doing like sales tech, I think they call it, right? Sales tech, right? Because don't they call everything, all their stuff, tech? Lafayette Ronald Hubbard. What a beautiful name. Ugh. Trying my best here. He dropped in. Yeah, I heard that as well. Oh, shock treatments. Is that true? That's pretty interesting. Sci-fi writer. I thought that was really funny. As I said in the beginning of the video, because I mean, I was young and I heard about it and I go, wait, science fiction, that means fake. Fiction's fake. He wrote science fiction books, but he developed a religion. Sounds fake. I go, wouldn't that be obvious that this is fake? He wrote a book about science fiction. He wrote a book about religion. He made a goddamn religion. Excuse my language. They don't believe in God, right? Like the e-meter. Oh my goodness gracious. Why? The Irish are impervious to psychology and hypnotism. Interesting. Interesting, my friend. So so this woman talked to me on the phone, like I said. The thing is, like, I knew what to say my issues were because I knew that they could say that they could help me with those. And I think that you could pretty much say anything, right? Because this is about, as the woman said, anxiety, depression, trauma reactions, which can include so many different things. All of these human conditions, as someone stated in the chat earlier, right? Linda, I believe they all know. Oh, I think so. Can someone tell me in here that knows? I believe, do the current Scientologists know? I would think that they would, right? Is that him that said that? That was him? Yeah. Well, I think he has a point. It's a business. I don't care that the government calls it a religion, okay? In my opinion, it is a fucking business. And so I know that a lot of people go in for these personality tests, like off the street, they pull you in, right? And just like Kathy wanted to show me, you come see some videos. I could send you some videos right now. Buy Dianetics from me for $25. Send it over to me, Venmo, PayPal, etc. I said, I don't know how to do that. She's like, bring it tomorrow to our auditing session at 1 p.m. in downtown St. Petersburg, Life Improvement Center. I'm like, all right, Kathy. Thank you so much. I don't know. I did not want her to know that I knew anything about Scientology. So the only thing I said was, is it a cult? And she said, and then she said, psychiatrists want us out of business because we have found the answers that will put them out of business. We do all of this without real therapy that you have to continue doing. It's instant. It's literally instant, she said, within a couple hours. Instant relief, instant answers, solutions. I said, wow, this sounds so amazing. I've never heard of this. Yeah, the one lady, I think during the meeting said, this hardcover is like 85 or something, or like, I don't know. She said it was a lot of money. And I go, oh, I paid 50 cents. I'm sorry, Kathy. Yes, I think I am no longer a secret agent. I lasted probably 10 minutes. I don't know. No, I lasted 2 days. I'm sure they ended up looking up my contact info that accidentally got sent over instead of Sydney, because I have 2 phones, and it sent it over. And I go, oh, fuck, I better change that to Sid. Just add hot waters or what? Call themselves a religion, and that's what they're. That was the whole problem. They could call themselves. Oh, yes. Yeah. So I think, I don't know if anybody has seen these on there, but I would say if you're interested in this, if there's any anti-Scientologists in my chat or anybody that speaks out about Scientology, I would implore you to go and look on meetup.com and see what you see here. It was that easy that woman could have, quote, recruited me for Scientology. Going from someone who just wanted to meet people and fit in and who's having a hard time, perhaps, looking for a group of people to mold with. I'm obviously in a vulnerable spot wanting to do that, correct? Correct. And someone's going to offer me solutions to my problems. Can I leave comments? I don't know. The thing is, like, you can join these groups. You can message the creators, the owners of these groups. You can go for it. You'll see at the bottom, like I showed in my beginning of my video, if you start looking up these self-help courses, there's a divorce and breakup one that's sponsored by Dianetics and Scientology Life Improvement Center. There is one on the power of the mind group. There is And it says the organizer on there and everything and the members. And I'm a member of that group, Power of the Mind group. I probably won't be after today, which is fine. I'm okay. Let me show you the other groups I'm in, or tell you the other ones. Emotional intelligence group. Change your mindset, change your life. Let me see if this is one. Yes. Living your life to the fullest in here. Yeah, Dianetics. 1,400 members. There's 3 organizers to this. Okay, so do you see this is kind of like, I believe this is probably a big part of, this could be a big part of their recruitment now. Look at this, elevate your motivation and ignite your potential. I'm going to show you this again. Right. And what is it every week that I understand is they have to have stats. They have to sell a certain amount or introduce a certain amount of people to what they're doing, books, etc. Right. Every week. Is that the truth? The titles of these groups are all quote buttons that they have surveyed to get the most clicks and views. Well, they got me to click. And like I said, they did not have to lie, okay? It's stretching the truth because I know the truth, right? But did they out and out lie and say, this is not associated with Scientology? No, this is associated with this, you know? That's crazy. That's crazy. So, like I said, I wanted to state this again because someone could play devil's advocate for me and argue with me and say, well, Lindsay, how is this dangerous if, you know, she just wanted you to come in for an auditing session or, you know, she was just trying to sell you the book and do this and that. And they were saying in the first meeting, we're not talking about Scientology. Oh, but wait, there's more. The second meeting, they were, right, when we're talking. And I had to go up to the Scientology Sea Org, and we were introducing Scientology as an idea. It's separate. Dianetics and Scientology are separate. Are they? Technically, yes. Technically, right? This is what I understand. I also understand there's no organization set up in the name of Scientology, like Scientology Incorporated. Is there a business named Scientology? No, I don't think so. Is there? Everything's in different groups, different entities, corporations. I don't know. Businesses? Interesting, huh? It's ironic that LRH didn't believe in medicine and died of cancer. And it's been said how Ron is Hebrew. Yeah, that's disgusting. Also, I thought that you didn't die from illnesses or get diseases. Isn't that what happens when you go clear? Am I wrong? I think they have a lot of boards, a lot. So the one that there's flag in Clearwater here. Isn't it like their spirit? What do they call it? It's their don't they believe is he returning? Yes. I believe, don't they have a house for him and everything with, yeah, I saw that. Okay, so I could go for being clear, right? I think that would be amazing. Do I get superpowers as well? The superpower building, isn't that in Clearwater with in the spiritual Mecca? Yes, thank you. Do I learn superpowers? Isn't there like a floor for that or something? Or do I do that? Do I get to do that there? I don't know, but people come here and do training here and pay a lot of money, and they stay in the Fort Harrison Hotel. That is super tall. I am literally taller than that man. I could beat him up. I'm just kidding. Scientology. No need to come over here. This is a joke. I joke. I have jokes. Yeah, I saw that. Very smart. Yes. How do you sue Scientology? I don't know. You guys sue other things, right? Don't you? I don't know. Internal bureaucracy on steroids. Oh, I like that. Almost like a crazy person to sign it. Oh my God. Maybe. I don't know. But we're going to learn more. We're from the outside, and we're going to learn more. Oh, no. I'm sorry. He got in this year. That's sad. How long ago was that? Yes. They have not. Okay, so as someone who's been a resident of Clearwater for 37 years, I didn't want to give away my age, but goddamn, it's okay. I messed up. There's a lot of properties down there. They're empty, most of them, or they're just buying up the land, and I have opinions about that. Absolutely. I don't want to share them. I got my opinions from other people that have told me, that have studied it and know about it. But I do not want you to rely on me for that information. But it's seems to be a large business that invests in properties and buildings, etc., and wants it to look like they're growing exponentially, but in fact they are not. I believe, how many Scientologists are there actively right now? Like 25,000 maybe? Is that still the case? Does anybody know in the world? So it makes it look like they are very large. And they actually, there is five minutes from my house, there is, there's hotels that the Sea Org lives in, and an apartment building with cameras, and I always pass it. Roughly correct, 30,000-ish. Gotcha. And isn't it shrinking? Is that correct? That's okay. Hello. Who says I don't know. Elron? He would say that. They believe you eventually receive superpowers. Level 9 in the bridge wasn't written out by LRH, so all Scientologists at the top level are desperate to reach the next one, but it doesn't exist. Didn't he say that there were 25? Did L. Ron Hubbard say that there were 25 OC levels and that they would be revealed by the other people? Is that true? It would be good for anyone in witness protection to be in Scientology? Maybe? I don't know. I don't want to do that. But wait. Witness protection is provided by the government, correct? So maybe it's not so different. I don't know. No one can get you to, gotcha. Shh. Oh, they say they don't exist. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Well, didn't people, so what happens? They get to OT8, and is that the end of it then? But they're supposed to be 25, Elron said. Is that the case? I don't even know where I heard that from. 15, only 8 available to humans. Who gets the other ones? Who gets the other ones, Dan? What if they existed and they were in a volcano for now? Not me. Why not? I don't know. I don't think they exist. I don't know. Maybe not. Yes, I've heard that. Don't they keep revising things or adding on things? Is that what it is? Goes to 15. Okay. I don't know that they will. I don't know. You have to ask these other fine people. The chart goes to 15. Okay. I don't think I would get there. How much money do you roughly need to have to get to that spot? I see advertisements on my Instagram for like a Clear Center in Clearwater. Something Clear Center. And they're holding up certifications that say, or, you know, like a certificate that says I'm clear or something. And I'm like, damn, they paid for that. I think they did. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't have that. Does Sea Org get free training? I don't remember. Do they? No. As much as you got. I got nothing. They were going to give me a free auditing session for my intro. How much do you think my second one would have costed? Do you think what would have happened if I told them that I couldn't open up any more credit cards in my name like they ask people to do? Allegedly. They have people open up many credit cards in their name and destroy their credit, I think. Allegedly. Guess what? I can't get any more in my name. Sorry. I don't think I would be a valuable member to them unless I worked for them for free. But I don't think I'd be allowed at this point. I don't think I'd be allowed. I don't think they want me. I think I'm trash. I'm tainted. Useless. But yeah, so that was a crazy thing for me to just be doing on a random Thursday. And like I said, it went exactly how I thought, wow, that would be crazy if this went exactly how I think it would go or will go. That they are like, boom, boom, boom. Guess what? The people in that group, like I said, were not interested in Scientology, like 3 or 4 of them that said it out loud. And I'm curious to know how many in there actually did talk to this woman the next day, and if any did go to auditing. She called me at 3 p.m. when I didn't show up. She texted me a couple times before. Don't the ones who work for Recruitment Center? Probably, I believe. Oh, well, I don't know. Are they Sea Org members or public Scientologists? I don't know. Alonzo might know. Or any other Scientologists in here. Yeah, no problem. I didn't even want to do it because I already know that I'm not favored by them, and I didn't, I don't want to like mess with them anymore. But I figured this is useful information, and I haven't seen it being talked about. But I also don't watch a lot of stuff, so it could already be talked about on YouTube or anywhere else. So I'm not sure, but I think it could be helpful to someone to avoid that if they're trying to avoid religion, ideologies / cults, any or all of the above, then maybe don't go on meetup.com to find these groups that say that, Am I trolling them? Good. I'm just repeating what I did. First I've heard, now I gotta check my area. Yeah, there's a lot of groups, you guys. There's like 10 to 15, 10 to 13 that I added to my calendar every night for every single problem you can think of. Narcissism was on there too. How many people do you think that gets? Narcissism recovery group. Does that sound like it could be that? They're gonna say Dianetics can help you with that. Probably, right? I don't know. That's a hard pass for me. So, yeah, meetup.com is where I was talking about. And yeah, just please be careful because those people didn't even have to lie. They just stretched the truth a little bit. And I could see how I could have easily gone there thinking, oh my God, wow. Or someone like someone that wants to be drug-free too, because they do advertise that Scientologist and Scientology is drug-free, right? I mean, that's scary from my people and substance abuse recovery, trauma recovery. She's appealing to trauma recovery in that video that I showed, right? Yes, she's talking about trauma responses. It could be anybody that has any kind of trauma in their life, period. And it doesn't have to be real traumatic type trauma. It could be something as small as getting sick at a picnic, as she said, because a trauma response to that is going to another picnic 10 years later, and that pops up in your mind. Because guess what brings back trauma? Where in the present moment, it's a smell, it's a sight, right? Sight, smell, all this touch, feeling, whatever. like she described. They get to hold a hold of your shame and use it against you. I can totally believe that. Thanks, Joanna. Thanks for coming by. You have a beautiful night as well. What do you guys think about that? I have heard that. I could see how that could happen. I don't know for sure, but I could see how that could happen. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I'm not even going to talk about that. I totally am. Don't people know when they are? Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. Thank you for this. A lot of people commit that because they aren't allowed any medication. So someone with treatable mental illness can't get any help. Thank you for bringing that up, because what this woman had said to me, I should repeat that. Thank you for saying that. She did say to me that this is instant, like I said, and I keep saying it for a reason, right? I keep saying certain things over and over again to really get that to imprint on anyone watching this, because it's scary. We don't do it with psychiatrists. They're against us. The industry's against us because we have the solution, not using any psychiatry medications or medications, period, like that. Same for medical health as mental health, correct? Mental health care in the US is nearly non-existent. They like to say that it is very existent, don't they? But is it existent? Proper? I don't know. There's definitely some, but is it as much as they say? Isn't it readily available? I don't think so. Yeah. They most definitely use shame and humiliation to coerce you into keeping going, staying on staff, paying more, etc. And who doesn't want relief from those symptoms, like she was talking about? Symptoms of depression, symptoms of, what is it, honey? What's going on? You were just sleeping. She just meowing at me. I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, you're right about that, and that's scary. Everybody deserves proper mental health help. Everyone knows that I'm a huge proponent for therapy and mental health help, and yeah, it's my kitty, and I very much believe in it and have worked in that field for years of counseling and around therapists, and I do group therapy and stuff like that, and I love it, and I think it's effective. I do individual counseling, which I don't do a specific therapy because I'm not a therapist. But I know different therapies. They view disabilities as a failure. Hold on, honey. They almost have a belief that they happen to you because you're allowed your weak mind to control you. What does it mean to pull something in? Is it your own fault when things happen to you, such as traumatic events? Is that true? Hi, honey bunny. So you guys know that I was in AA, and I tried to look at this objectively as well. I'll talk about that another time if anybody wants to. But there are some similarities and non-similarities to, it's an ideology as well. They believe in a stupid form of karma. Yeah, your action caused it. Is that kind of like the old you wore a short skirt so something happened to you kind of explanation? Blame? Seems like it could be. Seems pretty archaic. Sad. I don't like that. Doesn't sound very trauma informed, does it? Yes. It's an ideology, yes. Which also exploits shame, yes. Yes. What was that? Absolutely. So like I said, please, if you want to know more, find people that talk about it. They're all over the interwebs. And I'm not going to promote anyone specifically. I decided I don't want to do that. I cannot and will not. Well, this is what they do in AA. Where are you at fault in this? You need to clean up your side of the street. Do I think it's inherently wrong? No. Do I think it applies to trauma? No. Not specifically. It's a whole nother thing, yes. Which, if anybody, I have like looked at that for years. I have read a lot and tried to find answers. And it has got me pretty much. Come on, little one. This is my other kitty. She's a white kitty. Hey, that's my skirt, silly. Come on, come here. What distinction did I say? What did I say? I forgot. What does that say? An opposite? An opposite dress? Did I miss something? Thank you, Dan. Yeah, I think it's important because it's easy to fall into this sort of thing. And like I said, the way that I believe and I have been told that Scientology is designed is to go all the way, right? To pay all that money, to give your whole life to it. That means what goes with all that? Disconnection from family members. Fair game is another negative thing that comes with that. The disconnection. Not having independent thought, for example. If you can call it that. I don't know what the proper term would be. But I don't believe that you have freedom while you're in it. Do I believe you can leave? I've heard you can, but I don't know. I don't know how easy or difficult it is. I've heard very many stories. I will never claim that I know anything because I've heard stories and those are anecdotes. And I believe the majority of people have similar stories. So ultimately, I do believe that things are a certain way. But I will never want to represent that because I am not someone that represents being against as being someone that is the all-knowing on that. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Yes, being stuck in an ideology that is controlled by someone else. You guys so everything is ideologies. And you know what's great is that we can create our own ideologies. I mean, we can create our own lives, our own beliefs, and they can come from wherever the frick we want them to, you know? We talk about all the time on here that our beliefs, we're not aware of a lot of them, right? And a lot of it comes from growing up in our developmental stages, especially between the ages of like 1 and 4. I mean, they say it's like to say age 7 is very important. I mean, your brain is rapidly expanding. Look at how the size of a baby is. And it rapidly grows like to the age of 7. I mean, in 7 years, the size of your brain and your body is, right? Faster, like you go the biggest change than you do throughout your whole lifespan, right? Like that is the biggest, I don't know how to describe it. That's the biggest, like the fastest growth, right? And so you're like a sponge. This is what is normalized for you. Imagine growing up in something like Scientology. That would be your norm. That's scary, in my opinion. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Thanks, girl Bella. Yeah, I think that I see a lot of people that were in Scientology talking about it, and I don't think only their opinion counts. No, I was not in Scientology. No. Nope, just been always against them. And I know a lot. I think it's a lot, probably. I know a lot about it, but I have chosen not to speak about it really until recently because, I mean, I have spoken about it and had a lot of people talk about it on my channel here and there, but I was never like serious about doing it. And I'm not saying I'm going to, but I like to study more philosophies and ideologies. And I've always wanted to do that throughout my life. And that kind of got put on hold because I got too close to it. So, you know, it's very interesting to me. You were in the Sea Org as a child? Wow. How long were you in it? Oh, Scientology is foreign to you on a personal level? Yeah. I've just been around it, around people that have been in it and talk about it. So I don't personally know or have experience. 6 to 7 years born in. Wow. How was that? Mm-hmm. It's sad. Yep. That sounds like, no, Clearwater is not that big of a town. And you can go down there. They're not going to bother you. You know, you go down there. They're not everywhere. I see their buses all the time, though, with the Sea Org members and them going back and forth. Awful, of course. Yeah, I can imagine. From the stories I hear, it sounds like it wasn't a picnic all the time, to say the least. That's sad. Sounds like it could be quite terrible in many instances for many people. I understand that people have a different experience that were in the Sea Org to public Scientologists, and maybe do you think it's correct to say that maybe public Scientologists haven't experienced all of the possible maybe abuse that some people in the Sea Org have experienced? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They don't bother me, though. They never have. There's a lot of cults. You guys, there's a lot of cults. What did I say? That the experience of maybe a public Scientologist is different than a Sea Organization member, Sea Org member. Like maybe if someone was in the Sea Org, they might have been subjected to more abuse than maybe, I don't know if that's the correct word to use. More abuse. I don't think that's correct when I say that, but more of a chance to have been subjected to abuse. I have had many of my videos be sourced from xcyan.net. I don't understand it. So I don't know how that happens. They are exceptionally polite. Cultists always are. I just wanted to also say this, is that what bugs me is when people say, wow, how could you be that stupid to join a cult? Oh, no, you do not need to be stupid. In fact, many smart, very smart people join. I mean, I think they mostly want smart people anyways to join, don't they? Wouldn't they? I think a cult would want smart people to join. I don't think anybody has to be. I think nobody's immune to it. Just same thing was, I think about like addiction or something, is like, I think nobody's immune to that. Like, I think it's just a human thing that anybody can. That's why another reason I talked about this, because I could see how myself, who is very opposed to ideologies and groupthink in general, and I hate being part of groups and I don't get along with people. And maybe many of you have seen, right? I cannot play along. I could, anybody could. Freud said so. Yeah. Public was different. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard. But, and just so everybody knows, I'm sure everybody does know, but, when you are walking downtown Clearwater or downtown CP, like past those buildings, they do have people out there that are Scientologists that their job is to get you in and take a personality test. I've never done that. I told him I would one time, and I was like bored. And then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna play. I don't feel like doing this. I should actually see how far I would get one day. What do you guys think? What do you OSA members think? Or whoever the fuck. You think they would play along with it? And cameras? Yeah. People suck animals. What? Oh, people suck. Animals are great. It seems like the human mind was made to have ideas plug into them and get worrying. True. I can agree with that for sure. I'm glad that you were in here, Alonzo. I'm glad I had one ex-Scientologist in here that doesn't want to pretend they hate me and join. No, never. Not me. Declare Dave. Do I know him? Dave who? Yes, when I get $1 billion, I'll let you know. And I would immediately run to the nearest Scientology org and sign up. Tell them, take me all the way. They'd say, go fuck yourself. But give us the money. 2. Buy one, get one free? Oh, yes. That would be nice. But yeah, I wonder how much Way to Happiness is catchy. Yeah, so my mom came home from a dentist one day. She really likes her. She likes her Italian dentist, this woman. She's like, she's super cool. And then she's like, here's a book. Seems like psychology or something. You like that shit. I'm like, here. I go, Mom, this is the Way to Happiness. Do you know what this is? This is Scientology. This is their magazine. 2 exes that like you? Cool. Yeah, no, I got a few. They just don't want to admit it. You got a call. Oh, no. Yes. Yes. They're watching, everyone. Cool. I'm not sure which Dave it is. That's cool, though. But yeah, I've never, I did buy some, something Spheres. I don't know what it was. It's like really old. Cassette tapes and transcripts of those. I'm going to read the transcripts. We're not going to listen to the tapes. From the dentist, unprofessional best. Yes, in Clearwater, there's a lot of places that the owners, there's a lot of business owners. They have shit like that, pamphlets and stuff. They do watch me. They do. They have for a while. Spheres of Influence tape. Yes, that's it. You have heard those? Yeah, I got those and another thing. I forget what it is. And then a magazine, and Elron looks like a computer, and it's really old. And I was like, this is interesting. I want to know what this, I want to understand it. But I'm not destined to be doing Scientology on my YouTube. It's just whatever comes up on here. And this is something that I've always been interested in, and obviously have been around and wanted to, when I noticed that shit, it popped out at me like, boom. And I was like, what? What is this? I was like screaming. It's insane. So be careful, y'all. Be careful, guys. You don't want to be donating your next house to Scientology and giving up your family. Just saying the truth. Anyways, I think I'm gonna head out. Does anybody have anything else they want to add, or any information they want to give each other, since I'm not providing a whole bunch of different resources. I'm going to be reading Dianetics and this stuff, and I will show you how, I will describe to you when I figure it out and understand it, and I will be talking to some ex-Scientologists about it to explain it to me as well in their language, in their understanding. You too, Karina. And I want to see how where the stuff's pulled from. And I know people can tell me, but I want to find out for myself, okay? So that's what that is. And not just Scientology, but I'm going to look into a lot of different things, a lot of other, quote, religions or cults. Stay out of cults, yes. Yeah, oh, okay. I know about it, but I haven't gotten into it. I will definitely do that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, you guys, leave a comment if you happen to see any of these groups or interact with them. I'm curious if you haven't interacted with any of them. If you've attended any of them, I'd be curious in your experience. And just be careful. Hi and bye from New Zealand. Hello, friend. Thank you for attending and saying hi. I appreciate you. Hope to see you again. Please subscribe and like. I talk about a lot of different stuff on here. Mostly my crazy life. Okay. Recovery from different things, etc. Non-recovery sometimes. I talk shit. I enjoy that as well sometimes. I enjoy talking shit about people. Try not to do that. It happens. I'm not going to lie. I am not a liar. I will admit the truth. I do not like doing that, but it comes up. Scientology comes up here and there, whatever, different things. I love you all. And please have a good night. And please like and comment and come back. See you tomorrow. Bye.